Hi everyone, Vonda here. Turning off some lights before we talk about my shell haul. Now I put shell haul on there the last time that I showed these shells, but there were a lot more that needed to be sorted. And I wanted to do that because I sorted them all over there. So I wanted to do this video before I put these away or put them to use. So anyway, I had listed the video September's haul. Some of that is September's haul, so I'll just call this part 2. But I told you guys I really was quite fascinated with these little shells. Well, I looked it up tonight just before I did a Google image search. And these are called Turtills, I believe, turtles shells. Anyway, the common name for them is tower shells. So I've been calling them curlicues or quirky shells, but they're called tower shells for a common like slang name without having to use the exact. And they are an animal shell. It was under the animal. It said animal underneath of it. So I guess the crab is considered an animal and not whatever lives in the ocean under it. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't go to school for geology. I took earth science, well-rounded. Anyway, so but what I forgot to show you the last time before I go over here to the main hall, after I finished sorting, I forgot to show you these. This is a gaudy nautica. This is a moon snail. So moon snail is from what I understand, is the general name, just like not Tortillas communis for the tower shell. Tortillas communis or something like that for the tower shell. So gaudy nautica is the regular name, but these are called moon snails. Now, if it's got a blue eye in it like this one does, it's called a shark eye. So you can see the difference between these two. This is just a swirl. So when it's swirled and it doesn't have a blue eye, it is well, they're both from the gaudy nautica family, from the moon snail family. But gaudy nauticas in Florida have different prints on the side. These are just more, some people call them swirl shells, but that's people that don't know the names, and I'm trying to learn the names. So don't quote me and think that I'm a dictionary over here, because I'm not, but I am learning. So this is a regular moon snail from the gaudy nautica family, but this one is from the gaudy nautica family, but a Paul Newman. When their eyes are blue like that, it's called a Paul Newman shark eye. So as you can see, most of the body of the moon. See, this one has more body, but you can actually get them full-bodied, and you can see the way they are underneath, but I haven't found one like that yet. Now this one's a little bit more fuller-bodied, but there's no blue eye in there. So this would be considered a gaudy nautica moon snail, not a Paul Newman shark eye. Okay, so anyway, I found there was a Navy gentleman who desired my company at the beach, I guess about a month ago when I walked past, and he said he always wanted to go shelling. And I had passed by him several times before because I remember him asking me if I found anything. But God gave me a good feeling about this guy. And so I had prayed that we would find some cool stuff. And we did. So most of these, well, not most. I found cool stuff without him. But he got some, I gave him the better specimens because he really, really liked the moon snails. Haven't seen him since. He was on leave and very nice young man. So anyway, these were the ones that I found and I kept. And I realized on the video when I was talking about the top snails and the parts of the angel wings that I did not even mention the Paul Newman shark eyes. So anyway, for some reason I have to tap my camera for it to focus. All right. Excuse me, but I didn't put on. So nothing basically here has changed. It was drying. I'm going to put the sea glass away, the brown sea glass. But so let's go over here. All right, so here we have lots of white sea glass. This piece that I'm wearing right now is a beautiful English seafoam. And so I decided to wear a seafoam. Oh, okay. So let me show you. So this is the whites before I put them away. Washed them, bleached them. Bleached most of the shells, just washed the sea glass and Dawn. But so I met this couple while I was looking for these tower shells. And they were looking for these. It was Shane and I forget her name. But they thought these were shark teeth. And they're not shark teeth. So we had a deal that whenever I found one of these, I'd give it to them. And whenever they found one of these, they'd give it to me. So when I found these on a day I wasn't with them. But anyway, look at all these tower shells that I have. I mean, there's probably about 300 here. And that's from, let me zoom in. That's from most of September's haul, a little bit of October, but I've got all these. So my idea is to get, I got this at the Salvation Army. I love blues and greens. My idea is to get around, well, I have the perfect bowl, but nowhere to set it. So for right now, I probably won't make what I want to make, but something around just plain clear glass. I don't usually like just clear glass. I made an exception for this because of the coloring there. But so I have some beautiful turbo shells, and I want to put turbo shells in the mix and in the round glass container that I have beautiful jade green sticking out in between these nice bright white tower shells. So I have all these here. So we'll do this together. Taking all these, putting them in here. I'm laughing because my ex, he'd come home and I'd have sea glass everywhere. He's like, can you at least clean up so I can eat? He didn't want to eat. I don't blame him for not wanting to eat around glass. But this, well, there is glass here. But this is shells. So, but I do have a plan, and I think that makes it even more interesting on the artsy creative side, because when you make something with what you find, it's even more intriguing. So for right now, Lots and lots and lots. And I'm going to need a lot more to do what I want to do if I find the right clear container. So I'll keep looking. But so right now, these will go beautifully right here, the blue and green on my refrigerator. Just matches right on in there and make it look like a decoration. Okay, so these are all slipper snails that I've collected. I have a friend that loves slipper snails. See how this one's got, if I were to wet it, it's kind of got, well, I don't want to wet it because I'm going to put some olive oil on them, but it may not seem it to you, but it looks kind of purpley. So let me show you. Better view. So see, you have some with the brown. This one is that one's got brown, a nice brown pattern on it. Nice brown pattern on that. That one's a deeper bronzy brown. This one has gray stripes on it. And so they all have, I only kind of picked up ones that I thought had a really unique, I guess you'd say, ID or thumbprint of color. I did pick up a couple of neutral ones, however. Okay, so then we have, I don't know what these are called. They're probably from the same family. I thought maybe they might be actually the tower shells that hadn't had a chance to form the grooves yet. But I don't know. I'll have to Google search that. Uh-oh. So these tower shells not only come in bright white and a little bit of ivory, but they come in a gray, a swirly gray as well. You see the difference in the tones there? So I didn't want to mix the gray ones. Like here's a gray one next to a bright white. I didn't want to mix the gray ones with the bright white ones because my project, I just want the neutral white ones without the gray. So they do come in different shades. This one is a very cream-based tower shell, as to where you see the bright whiteness of the other one. So I'm kind of intrigued with those, to say the least. All right, so in my video I showed you that when a hole is drilled into a shell, when you see these drill holes, it's another shell or animal, sea creature that attached itself to it to try to eat it. They wanted a little snack, snacky snack. This right here is just some barnacles that I thought were different if I want to fill a gap. Lots of just little different small clam shells. Really like the grays. This has got some gray and white in it. They have to be kind of unique for me to pick them up in tone. Okay, so here's, I did show the whelks, the couple of whelks that I did find. I don't know if I showed you this one or not. I don't think so. This one's pretty whole. Tail and everything is intact. The aperture doesn't look broken. Aperture is another word for opening. Doesn't look broken. It doesn't have the beautiful swirl brown in there as the ones from Morocco Island in Florida, southwest Florida. But you know, it's different than just a plain old clam shell. And the shark eyes are different than just a plain old. Now this right here is a piece of finger finger coral. rain today, and anyway, so now flies got in. This is a beautiful bronze jingle. You can see next to the yellow buttercup ones. See the difference? It's not gray, and it's not black, and it's not peach, and it's not yellow, and it's not gold. It's actually the only really kind of bronzy one. I know it is on the drab gray side, but that I've ever seen. So I thought that that was unique. That's, of course, I told you I'd pretty much pick up any jingle. So we've got some very little tiny clamshells here. Lots of whelk tails. I picked up one that I didn't show you the other day. I love the swirl on the inside. I might just have a jar with whelk tails in them or use them for projects. But there are some whole ones that I've found. This one here. It's gray. It's got some nice grooves in it. The tail right there looks like it's chipped a tad bit, but for the most part it is intact. And it is a gray whelk shell. And I just get so excited when I find them. Now here's one that would have been bigger with just the tail, but I only have the tail. So I do collect the tails as well as the shells. Here's a small one. That is missing its tail, but it's ribbed very nicely, I'm pretty sure. And then here's a real tiny one. I think this is a ribbed. It's hard to tell because it looks like a juvenile. When it's this small, they're called juvenile whelks. But I don't know if it's a lightning whelk or not, because the lady in Florida, if we ask her questions, she doesn't really know East Coast shells that well, so I'll probably get a book on it. God asked me to buy a book recently. Look how tiny that is. Just can't resist that. See, it's perfectly intact. It's got the aperture there. It's got the whole tail. It's got the cone, the point at the top. This point is not missing. So it's quality ones like this that I'll use like on outward projects. So this one is, you can see the two different ones compared to each other. This one is more of a beige, and this one is gray and white. How and what determines their color, I don't know. This one's missing some of its tail, and this one has its tail. But they both have their grooves. They both have their points. They both have their apertures intact. So anyway, let's see. Here's a gaudy Nautica, part of one, just the top. But you know, when you just see clamshells or oyster shells, it's nice to see something different. Now see that pattern on the side? How it's got more of a streak. If it was bigger, it would probably be like that all the way down, and that's kind of how the ones in Florida are, not just a big brown swirl. Anyway, I have no idea what this was. I'm assuming some type of whelk, the way that it's swirled on the inside, but it was too pretty to pass up. So all these are slipper snails. Right here, I'll give you one more look. I thought this was pretty for the peachiness, and I just love that pitted texture in there. So I did find some aqua sea glass, a few pieces, lots of whites, mostly whites, a couple of really big whites. With the right project, I can work with them. Like I said, I don't know what this is here. I don't think it was a whelk, but who knows. So these are part of some angel wings that I mentioned before. So quite a haul. All these tails, big ones, little ones. Just love that kick. And I'll let you go with this. I was interested in knowing that, you know, you would think that the snail lived, you know, more up here. But its eyes hang out down here and the body carries there. So when the snail is going, it kind of goes like that and carries the back end as more the butt of it, where the eyes and the front part is at the smaller, narrower part. Isn't that interesting? So I think I told you the other night, I believe these are Winthal traps. And so I'm excited about the few of those that I found as I sorted through my shells, the shell haul. I noticed that I had found a few and not just one, even though that one's not perfectly white. So it's nice to have those. So those make nice little accent pieces on projects. This is just a piece of coral. Now in this, I'm going to close out here, y'all. I don't want this video to be too long. Ooh. In this right here, I had this one day where lots of coral came up on the beach. And coral, from what I understand, is illegal to harvest it from the waters. So it's been bleaching for a while. My friend's husband is a retired Navy SEAL. A BFF. And someone like him might appreciate some of that. So anyway, so that's the haul there. Takes me a while to wash it and to get to it, because I like to spend more time in the sun than working on things that I collect. I enjoy the picking part, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to enjoy using this, but I really don't need any more beach product to do projects with, other than the fact that I could not pass up these for a new plan of action, and haven't, since going to Chesapeake and Sandbridge, haven't found a whelk tail, except for I did find a whole whelk over across the street, and I found a few more since the last time I found them. So I'll put the ones that are whole out on my display, but the rest, I'll just use them in some project or something. I don't know what it is, but I just love these gray. This is a ponderous arc, straight right there. And I did find some nice little cute white ponderous arcs. Like here's a white one. See, it's straight right there. And then when you turn it over, it's got the nice vertical lines in it. Maybe hard to see. There we go. They're quite hardy little shells. I only picked them up because they're very tiny and cute. Okay, different as to per se this type of shell. You see the difference? See, that's a clam shell. But this is a ponderous arc where it's straighter there. Anyway, okay, so that's it. I'm going to start putting my goodies away, and winter's on its way, so I'll probably just stick to the sea glass unless I find some really, I don't know. I don't really want to keep picking more until I use some of what I've got, although I enjoy picking for the therapeutic part of it. But I'll have to look up these, see what they're called. But I'm a happy little camper. Isn't this neat? It's a sea. Look at that. Too cool. It's just funny. Found a sea in piece of glass. I showed that about a month ago. So C's are showing up. Anyway, all right, so over and out, y'all. I'm going to put this away, and I hope you enjoyed my nice little, I meant it for it to be a short video, but now we're at 25 minutes. Oh well, the lady in Florida, when she makes videos, even though I see her picking, put this nice, beautiful, buttery one right here. If she makes her video only like 20 minutes, I want to see more. So I like 30-minute videos talking about shells, but she cuts them off at about 25. So, and then I found this penny down there. I don't know if anybody will ever take it as a penny or not. But, and this is the oyster shell that I really liked. I did tell you, but I had bleached it and got off all the barnacles and all the extra things that adhered to it and basically just have just the shell. And I really love that swirl in there. Those neutrals. It looks kind of like a dog bone, doesn't it? Anyway. All right, y'all. Over and out.